I love the kids. Now I want to give them the education. It's very important that the children must come to the creche because we develop them in socially, mentally, physically. And my vision is that to have a big school.
There were a lot of kids running around in the street, so I collected them. This is a safe place where the mother can drop the child in the morning and see that the child is happy and safe in this ECD.
Oh, a lot of families, they are very, very poor. And then they've got nothing. They sleep with empty stomach sometimes. And then it's a big problem.
Poverty is the biggest challenge in our community. If you're talking about Mfuleni, it is a poverty-stricken community. People are living under the breadline. We got more than 20,000 children in this area, and this community are growing every day. So yeah, we are there for the children. We have to save them.
If you look at a township like the one we're in today, as many as 50% of the people in this township, or perhaps even more, could be unemployed. And the reason that they're unemployed is that in many cases they're inadequately educated to be able to win employment. So in order to help children come through an education system and be employed at the end of it, we believe that it's really important to start with the young children so that we can help them to acquire the skills necessary to be effective learners.
Our classes is very small. We've got no space, there's no space. And if it's raining, the rain is coming in. I cannot get registered with the structure because it's a temporal structure. I cannot get registered. So I must have a good structure like bricks from social service. They did tell us we cannot get registered until we reach some requirements that we have to reach.
There are perhaps 40 to 50 early childhood providers in a township like this, and most of them are going to be in a situation where they're unregistered. So Starting Chance is about creating the infrastructure that would allow those people to actually take their small businesses to the point of registration. And that is a very important thing to be able to do, because once you do that, they can then access the government subsidy for children attending the school, and you put the whole business onto a much more sustainable financial footing. We're in the Mfuleni hub, and around Mfuleni there are another 4 shack-based schools that we're also working with. And those schools are supported from this hub. And the hub plus those 4 schools is what we call a Starting Chance project. And we're aiming to do 6 projects in different townships in Cape Town so that we will be able to uplift 30 early childhood development centres.
The campaign is focusing on 2 critical elements. The first is the physical infrastructure upgrade of the facilities, but at the same time we're also building the team that will be running the building. You can build the most beautiful building in the world. If you don't build a team that can run it properly, the building will stand empty. So we're spending a lot of time developing the principal and her staff to become better educators.
I think you are never too old to learn, because there's many times I also learned something at this age.
TT&T stands for Training Teachers in Townships, and it's a very useful educational model that was developed by SASDI, by our ECD specialists. And the TT&T workshops focus on developing practical skills that they can use in the classroom almost immediately.
Well, we found from a survey that we did of 51 teachers, only 5 of them had matric. And so that is the school leaving certificate in South Africa. And if they don't have an education themselves, it's very difficult for them to be reaching out to their children.
We don't use an instructional methodology at all. We use an interactive sharing process. And it has to be a process, because it has to go a little step, a little step, a little step. It's like eating the elephant, a bite at a time. You have to encourage them.
Meryl did explain about the behavior of the kids. Like when the kids misbehave, we must not shout at them, we must explain it in a nice way. They must enjoy when they come to the crash.
I'm telling you, there's a huge difference now as in the past. It is really amazing when we are together in a training.
Many of the teachers are carers. They don't have education themselves. And so when they have the training, they don't know how to implement it in the classroom. So we have chosen to appoint a field worker, and she is able to go into the classroom and to help all the teachers to implement what they have learnt in the workshops. And in that way, we're hoping to ensure that the education they're receiving is sustainable.
These are my ears to hear each sound.
My work is actually to support the principals and the teachers and to empower them to be good educators.
Nombulelo, she's working very, very, very hard with us, and she makes a lot of changes in my school. And then I'm very, very happy to have Nombulelo in my school, because we are following a daily program, we are following a lesson plan, and all that's at the lesson program, we are up to date.
So I start from scratch. I tell them why a school should have a daily program, because a daily program is where the children learn from. It's a routine. A child gets into a routine so that the child knows now it is morning ring. After morning ring is going to be activity times, and after activities is going to be free play outside, and after free play outside, then they know that it's nearly home time.
My dream is that they will have an educational environment that they're proud of, that they love, and that the children will have an opportunity that is the same as the children in other parts of Cape Town.
In our school, every grade has an opportunity to support a specific project, and all the teachers in grade 2 thought it would be an excellent opportunity for the children to get involved in the education of other children.
There are children like us that don't have a lot of things to use to learn, and they don't have a lot of things to play with.
We've asked the children to collect things such as stationery. We made placemats for their Play-Doh. I think it's important for the children to realise that there are schools out there that aren't as privileged as we are.
It makes me feel like I'm making a difference.
It's been an amazing opportunity to see how Cape Town children are opening their hearts and their cupboards and finding all sorts of things that they can donate and know that they are helping the township kids.
All the teachers from our 5 schools, if they need a game or a puzzle or a storybook, they have to come to the resource center.
Left, no right.
There you go. So the opposite of left is right. Sometimes I find some teachers don't even know most of our games. So then I first teach them how to play the games so that they can be able to play in the classroom with their children.
We have seen fantastic results already. We've noticed that the children are no longer sitting against walls and doing very little. They're already involved in art activities. They're enjoying having stories being read to them. And there's a far happier atmosphere in the schools. We also find that the teachers are finding it a lot easier because the children are enjoying integrated days and having the opportunity to play with resources and toys which they didn't have before.
We're working like a network now. We communicate with the whole Mfuleni, not only our parents or these 5 schools.
This is the start of a project that we hope will continue well into the future and that we will be able to touch the lives of thousands of children in the townships in which we work.
I believe that from here they will go far. And I have the aims for them, and I have the vision for them, and I will be happy if I will see them. They have bright future, and I believe I have the doctors here, I have the president here, I have all of them who's going to make the world to be proud.